Welcome to the video today. We're going to do a fun video, experimental video, where we're going to try and play a band-in-a-box RealTracks in a real-time system like RTS and using ReMIDI. Is it possible? Would you even want to do it? Well, experimenting, we can see if it's something we want to bring into our arsenal of musical possibilities. So I thought I would try it. And what I'm using is basically a groove agent to cut it up, assign it to a pad, a MIDI pad, which then can be assigned. If I drag this in here, it can then be bound to your keyboard using something like Remedy. So I'm not going to get into all the technical stuff because that would just bog things down. This is just a fun experimental video if it's something that could even possibly work. So I did all that, and I assigned the RealTrack player, session player, bass, and a guitar, and I've got them assigned to my keys, so their performances are assigned to my RealTime keyboard here, and I'm going to play it and see what we get. Okay, so I hold down the key. All right, let's start to move. I think there were some glitches there with what I didn't exactly change notes perfectly in time, but that can be edited, and you can just learn to play it and do the transitions. But really, it's quite playable. Of course, these recordings weren't recorded with playing real time in mind. I'm sure when the band-in-a-box team created this, they weren't thinking, oh, we're going to play this live on the keyboard. So, but imagine if they did that. What if they offered a band-in-a-box version called RealTime? I think that would be amazing. That's my opinion. I think just out of the box, cutting it up and playing it on the keyboard and deciding what you want to play and what direction you want to take these real-time session players is really interesting and kind of exciting, because you're taking these phrases and you're bringing it into the MIDI real-time play situation. What that means is that, well, then there's no reason why you couldn't just turn on UJam drums to play along with that. So let's try it. Let's turn on the UJam drums and it's a little off, but I think anybody with a little vision could see that, wow, you know, if they did maybe conceive of this in real time, I think the possibilities would be tremendous, because then you could totally mix real-time session players with any type of real-time play, come up with a sketch of something, record it, and then edit that, still in the MIDI domain, and then you just go over and record it as audio tracks. So yeah, in my opinion, this is something that has possibilities. Even though you can tell the transitions weren't created totally smooth, but I think if you just let your mind say, well, what if they did create it in a way that was conceived from the start in a different way, you know, you could really see how you could just add a beautiful sax solo or a bent guitar that's normally very hard to do. I don't think anybody's taken solo lead guitars when they're bending the strings and have created a really good MIDI performance. Well, maybe there are some that are getting close. I think some of the UJAM stuff you can manipulate it. There may be others, but so with that in mind, let's now just listen to an audio recording. So I took that idea, but I went to electric guitars. I chopped them up and played it real time on the keyboard, choosing the chords as I went. And this is an audio recording of that real time play. So let's take a listen. So that was live guitars played real time on the keyboard with live band-in-a-box drums and bass also. So in this recording, you can see where some of the transitions could have been better, but that's just taking this idea, slapping that onto the keyboard, playing it a couple times, saying, oh, that groove kind of works. Let's try that. Let's record that. I was sketching in real time with live electric guitars that were bending their notes, playing, live with the bass, with the drums. So I'm thinking in my mind that something like this, if conceived from the root as being played real time, so you could have not just band-in-a-box linear, but you could have band-in-a-box non-linear real time. If they were to do something like that, like I'm using this, I'm going to use bits and pieces of this already where I can mix it just easily with some MIDI recordings and samples. It's already in my mind something usable. So I've done that to many different tracks. And when I need to add a more realistic part, I'll just go to RealTrack and I will make it real time, and I may use it on part of my sketch. Thought you would like to see this experiment because this is experimental. Just keep that in mind. So I hope you're able to make music wherever you are in the world today. And we'll see you on the next video.